What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to break down my day trades for the day. Today I day traded SPY and Amazon. I made a little over $41,000. We had strong momentum today from yesterday's continuation in the market. So I kind of want to dive into that and break all of that down. So let's just kind of go into some of the trades I had. So these are all the trades. Started off trading Amazon, went into trading SPY right after. Pretty solid trades, and once again, just wanted to break that down and give you guys an insight. So first name, Amazon, right? Let's just go into Amazon. The first trade I took here, let's kind of break that down. So this was the first trade, made a little over $27,000, a 41% return, 4R on the trade. Basically what the 4R means, just to kind of give you guys context. And this is what every trader should really focus on, is the risk perspective on a trade. This final number, in my opinion, does not matter. I don't care if you made 50K a trade, 200K a trade, 10K a trade, $100. It doesn't matter about this. In my opinion, it matters about this. How much did you risk? Because obviously every trade we take, we have a certain risk amount that we put out. So in this situation, I risked about 6K, made about 27,000. 4R, basically I made 4 times my initial risk amount. Made about 41% on the trade. So overall, a pretty solid trade. So let's go through some of the entries and exits. So I took the trade around 9:35 a.m. Eastern time. So right when we go into Amazon, we look into Amazon, what is going on? So this is giving us around 9:35. Now, why did I want to take the trade at this point? Now, a few reasons. Number one, if you guys go into SPY and we look at a larger time frame, we can see the huge bounce we got from 451 2 days ago into a strong rally coming into today. Right, we had the pre-market highs also around the 463.50s. So we had a pretty strong momentum move from this bottom leg up from the overall market. So Amazon was one of the names I was really watching for a small, quick scalp play. So, obviously we got a really wide open, right? Heavy wide open without real momentum, without real direction in Amazon. After getting that heavy wide open, I start seeing us taking the high of the day out. And I have a massive level around 33.90, 33.92. We start seeing that level get taken out. And obviously, we start seeing some heavy rejection on the second candle. Now, the second candle, once I start seeing heavy rejection, I also see the bid holding very strong. So around 9:35, I enter at 30 contracts at 21.91. 30 contracts is about 65K. Once again, guys, I know a lot of people go, oh, he put 65K in to make this. Listen, these numbers all become relative, right? If I risked 1,000, would have made 4. If I risked 10K, would have made 40, right? And these numbers adjust as depending on where you are in your trading journey. These numbers are going to adjust. So don't say, oh my God, he made 65K. No, he made 4 times his risk amount. That's the only thing we care about here, right? Now, obviously, we start seeing the first move up at 9:40. At 9:40, once I start seeing this little strong move up, I'm expecting a nice little continuation. And obviously, right when I see Amazon slow down, I'm like, listen, I'm going to take my money just because I know Amazon, with the premiums move this fast, we start seeing a 20-30% spike up in premiums. So right there, I take about 25 off. I wanted to originally take 20 off. But because of this slowdown in momentum and because I have been risk off with a lot of my trades because the market has not been easy, I was like, you know what, let me take most of my position off and let the remaining ride. If the remaining does not hold 3,400, I will exit and I will go cash on this position. But once we see this huge move up, and obviously this holds and I see this continuation, I should have maybe added more here. I think that was the trade. But once again, because I have been risk off, I did not go in as aggressive. I would usually go 60, maybe 80 contracts in on Amazon or something at this caliber. And I did not do that. Now, obviously, when you start seeing the next leg up, you guys can see at 9:43, I start taking my remaining position off. And you can also see there's not a massive difference in premium size, right? Premiums did take a little bit of a hit on this pullback. And I also sold a little bit way too early on this move up. If I waited maybe another minute, these were trading at 35, 36. Like, I rushed to get out. So this, in my opinion, could have been better. And maybe I could have added some more here. But overall, I think a pretty solid trade. With maybe the execution on the last trade could have been better, right? And on these trades, I have another video on them. I'll break them down too. Now, next, we have another SPY trade. Not another SPY trade, but a SPY trade. Messed up here, played shares accidentally, but whatever. same thing here. But next I played SPY, right? Took a trade on SPY. And if you guys look at this trade on SPY, I made about a 3.4R. I risked about 4,800. So made about 16,500, 57% on the overall trade. We look at this trade, started off red on the trade, and then started going super green on this overall trade. Added with 200 contracts at 10.04 on SPY. So let's take a look at this. This was a little bit of a harder trade. I don't want to say it was a great momentum trade or a great trade that was just rallying. So when you look at 10.05, we start getting 10.04, 10.05. We start getting quite of a chop zone, in my opinion, right? So we start going here. We start getting a chop zone. My idea here was I'm seeing this 463 zone hold very well. So I'm like, you know what? We're getting a move on the downside. Premiums are taking a hit on the upside. Let me get a starter position. Now, obviously, my starter position on this went in heavy 200. 200 on this is 28K, which is still half of my position on Amazon. Now, because I'm already up for the day, I'm totally okay on, taking another trade, even though I cut my size in half. And the reason I cut my size in half, like I said before, been playing a lot of risk off. Take that trade. We start moving up at around 10.16. Once again, a way tougher hold than usual. Around 10.16, the first little pop that we get above this high zone, I scale out, right? I know a lot of people, when they take trades, they start entering here. I've been playing the market a lot different. I'm looking for these pullback zones where, price is holding, price is stabilizing, especially when I'm trading options, because the risk to reward ratio here, guys, is a lot more. Because keep this in mind, side note, when a stock goes down, right, and if I buy puts for all my option traders, puts are jacked up because of the accelerated stock price. Now, if a stock goes up and I buy calls, a call price is accelerated. Now, typically, if a stock is falling and I buy calls, I typically get calls a lot cheaper because the bids can fill. Now, if you don't understand that concept, you're probably a beginner, you're still starting out, but all the people that have been trading understand how the bid and ask for options really rotate very, very heavy on these moves up or down. So a lot of times we start seeing heavy moves into a key zone. I'll maybe go in calls looking for that little bounce and making a 10, 20% move, right? So get in around that zone, start scaling out right here. That's where I start scaling out, right? You look at the scale out, take a 50% of my position off at 174. Then around 1038, I take another 50 off. We go to 1034. We start ripping again. You guys can see 1038 right here. We start ripping again. Right when we start ripping, I see a huge rejection. Rejection happens. I'm like, you know what? Let me take another 50 off around 262. And then the remaining 50 got taken off around 1050 AM, right? So you go right here, a very similar move, and I just start scaling out overall. This was a much harder trade. Wouldn't recommend this trade to most people, but like I said, for the day, I had profits. For the day, I was already up because of Amazon, up about 27K, had a 4-hour trade. So for this trade, I was comfortable in taking. Typically, if I was red or had a slow week, I wouldn't be aggressive with this trade. And then obviously my third trade of the day, lost about 18%, even if you go off percentages, negative 112R. I scaled in initially 13K, was going to scale in more. And obviously, once I want to scale in more, it never happened. 11.17, I took the 466 call. So you go to 16? With 11.16, I got in calls right here with the assumption that we're going to continue. And then obviously on the pullback right here, or the leg down at around 11.24, I was like, you know what, let me just get out. And I just called it a day from right there. But obviously, you guys even look at the price action here, just super messy action. Yes, there's money to be made, but I think for you to make money on days like this, it's extremely, extremely hard in my opinion. Once again, just recapping everything. Amazon, one trade, right? The big trade of the day. And then second was the SPY trade. That's really about it. And for everyone trading, just, like I said before, look for your setups, look for trades coming to you. If you don't see anything coming, like right now, we're getting a very, very tough market, which is, Wednesday, December 22nd. Very tough market. And if you find something, great. If not, just call it a day. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next video.